The other two children's records that I have are both records that were on TV, and they are both Smurfs records, which is why I'm interested to see if anyone else has these. They're Smurfs records. These are the records in my collection that are in the worst condition by far. These are really scratched. A lot. Scuff scratches, scratches, deeper scratches. These are Sessions records. According to the cover of this first one, which is the Smurfs All-Star Show, right here, they say, you know, seen on TV, basically. This says, words included, so I'm going to assume that there was a lyric sheet on the sleeve, or separate inside, although there is no sleeve or lyric sheet in here anymore. This record is in very bad condition. There are definitely songs on this record on both sides that skip, or that either skip over whole sections or skip repeat. Almost every single song on this album, I'm pretty sure, has at least scuffing sounds in it somewhere. And there's probably multiple songs on this album that are unplayable. But if I were to put this album on right now, I probably would remember most of the words. And that goes for the other Smurf album that I have, which is this, Smurfing Sing Song. This is also a scene on TV. This does not mention having words in this one, but I could probably sing this one as well. This one still has its inner sleeve, and this record is still in pretty good condition. There's a couple of small scratches, but it's nothing like the other one. This was also put out by Sessions Records, so, you know, that's why it was a scene on TV, because that was one of the major companies that did that. And this is actually Sessions record number ARI 1018. So those were in stereo. So yeah, I probably remember those songs too, if I put them on now. Alright, this album, actually, I suppose I shouldn't be too embarrassed, because I really don't think this album is mine, despite the fact that I was huge into wrestling during this period. And I really hate to say it, but not only is this album not entrance music, which I wish it was entrance music. There is one entrance music song on this album, and it's Hulk Hogan's Real American Hero, which I loved. I love that song. You know, I was a fucking wrestling fan during this time. Of course I love that song. Other than that, though, unfortunately, this is actually an album of wrestlers singing regular songs. And they put more than one of these out, and I think they actually continued to put these out into recent years. I wouldn't know, because I pretty much stopped watching wrestling somewhere in the 1995 era. And this is from the 80s. This is back when it was still the WW beat, you know. So this is actually just the wrestling album. It's covered over by its tag, because it still has its price tag, stickers, and sleeve over it, although it has been open and played. So this is the front. Now this is classic 1980s wrestling, as you can see. Jesse, the Body Ventura, Mean Gene Okerlund, and Vince McMahon in the front, just as they were at the time, because Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body were doing a lot of the commentating during this time period. This is early WrestleMania time period. And a lot of the people in this picture are dead, unfortunately. I'm guessing, I'm not even closely looking at the picture, but I'm quite certain a lot of the people in this picture are dead because they're wrestlers, and that's just what happens. I see Harvey Finkelman. I see Captain Lou. I can name everybody in there, I'm sure, if I tried. And this is the back of the album. Any fans of wrestling now will notice here Shawn Michaels when he was a rocker on the back here. So that's the very beginning of his professional wrestling career as far as the WWF is concerned. And you will see that my personal favorite on here, George the Animal Steele. I love George the Animal Steele. I used to love his gimmick of eating turnbuckles. It was his favorite. The funny thing about him, too, was that, you know, when you looked at him, he looked like a gorilla, you know, because he had so much body hair and things. And he was so good at sounding dumb and everything. But he was a school teacher, a very well-educated man. Just a you know, little tidbit there for anyone who didn't know. George the Animal Steele was a very well-educated school teacher who just happened to look like a gorilla and eat turnbuckles as his evening work. The last of the records here are records that are mine and Christmas records, so we've reached the end here. Christmas records. With the Christmas records here, there's like greatest hits and things, and a number of, you know, sort of overlapping songs as well, because there's more than one, like, Gene Autry album, for instance. So we have the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer soundtrack. It's the original soundtrack to the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you know, the claymation type stop-motion special with Burl Ives, etc. So it's a Burl Ives record, but it's the soundtrack with a lot of Burl Ives music on it. This, of course, is probably one of my absolute favorite Christmas soundtracks. My favorite Christmas music pretty much is on here. And there's a couple of songs on here that really don't even have to be Christmas songs, that are excellent songs that are on there, like There's Always Tomorrow. That doesn't have to be a Christmas song, but it's a beautiful song. This one is called, and I know I didn't mention like the specifics, that one's released on Decca. I suppose since they're Christmas records, I wouldn't suspect as many people being interested in them. I suppose I should look. The record's in quite good shape. Looks like its sleeve is still in here. It doesn't look like it was slipped appropriately in it, so put that back. So anyway, this Rudolph one is in good shape. It's by Decca, and it's number DL74815. The next one is Best of Christmas by Mistletoe Records, MLP1209. This is a mix. It has some Liberace, some Bobby Helms, some Gene Autry, some choral music. It's basically some of the more famous versions of some of the more popular Christmas songs all together on an album. So you see the front there, and the back. This Christmas album should be in relatively good shape. We only listen to them at Christmas. Although it was a tradition up until we didn't have a working record player around anymore. It was a tradition that we did listen to every one of these every Christmas. Usually we just put them on one at a time while we were decorating. So whatever decoration night was, that would be the night that all of these records would get played. And then they get played a couple more times during the season at night.